Rain had a way of revealing the quiet truths of a city. It washed dust from pavements, softened the noise of traffic, and exposed moments that usually passed unseen. On one such evening, the sky opened without warning, turning the streets into mirrors of gray and silver. People hurried, shoulders hunched, eyes fixed ahead, eager to escape the sudden downpour. Aisha had just finished a long shift at a small publishing office. Her shoes were already damp, her bag heavy with unfinished manuscripts, and her mind full of worries about rent, deadlines, and a future that felt uncertain. She stopped at the corner near the old bus stand, fumbling for the button of her coat, when she noticed a man standing a little apart from the crowd. He was soaked, his clothes thin and worn, his hair plastered to his forehead by rain. He did not hold out a hand or raise his voice. He simply stood there, calm and silent, as if the storm belonged to him more than the shelter around. Most people avoided his gaze, stepping past him as though he were part of the scenery. Aisha hesitated. She had little to spare and even less time. Yet something about his stillness unsettled her. She opened her bag and pulled out the umbrella she had bought that very morning, bright blue and sturdy, a small luxury she rarely allowed herself. She stepped closer and held it out. "You should take this," she said softly. "The rain doesn't seem like it will stop soon." The man looked up, clearly surprised. His eyes were sharp, thoughtful, and unexpectedly warm. For a moment, he seemed about to refuse. Then he accepted the umbrella with a slight nod. "Thank you," he said, his voice steady. "You have no idea how much this means." Aisha smiled briefly and turned away before he could say more. She hurried toward the bus, her hair getting wet, her heart strangely lighter. She told herself it was nothing, just a simple act in a city full of small, forgotten kindnesses. By the time she reached home, the moment had already begun to blur, filed away among other memories of long days and quiet nights. The following week arrived with a different kind of tension. Rumors had spread through Aisha's office like wildfire. The company had been acquired by a powerful investor, and a new chief executive was coming in. No one knew much about him, only that he was young, successful, and known for making swift changes. On Monday morning, the staff gathered in the main conference hall. The air buzzed with nervous whispers. Aisha took a seat near the back, clutching her notebook, telling herself not to worry. She was just an editor, easily replaceable, easily overlooked. The door opened, and the room fell silent. The man who walked in wore a tailored suit, his posture confident, his presence commanding. He looked around calmly before taking his place at the head of the table. When his gaze passed over Aisha, it paused. Her breath caught. It was him. The rain, the bus stand, the umbrella, all of it rushed back in a single heartbeat. Only now the worn clothes were replaced by elegance, and the quiet stillness by authority. "Good morning," he said to the room. "My name is Adam Farouk. I'm honored to be working with you all." Aisha stared, stunned, her mind struggling to reconcile the two versions of the same person. Adam continued speaking, outlining his vision for the company, his words measured and clear. Yet every so often his eyes found hers, as if confirming that she, too, recognized the strange turn of fate. After the meeting, employees gathered in small groups, speculating and analyzing. Aisha remained seated, unsure whether to leave or stay. She felt exposed, as though her simple gesture had somehow followed her into this polished world. "Ms. Aisha," a voice said gently. She looked up to find Adam standing beside her. Up close, he seemed even more composed, but there was something familiar in his expression. "Yes," she replied, standing quickly. "I was hoping to speak with you," he said. "If you have a moment." Her heart raced as she followed him into a quieter office. The door closed, muting the noise outside. "I owe you an explanation," Adam said. "And a thank you." She folded her hands, unsure what to say. "That night," he continued, "I wasn't pretending to be anyone else. I had just left my grandfather's funeral. I wanted to walk, to think, without the weight of who I am. I didn't expect the rain, and I certainly didn't expect kindness from a stranger." Aisha listened, her surprise slowly giving way to understanding. "You didn't ask who I was," he said. "You didn't expect anything in return. That matters more than you know." She smiled faintly. "I just didn't want you standing there in the rain." Adam returned her smile, softer now. Still, I wanted you to know that I haven't forgotten. From that day on, something shifted. Their interactions remained professional, yet there was an ease between them that others noticed but could not explain. Adam valued Aisha's insights, often asking for her opinion during meetings. She, in turn, found herself looking forward to work in a way she never had before. They spoke about books, about cities they loved, about dreams that felt too fragile to share with most people. Adam spoke of the pressure of expectations, of living up to a name that came with history and scrutiny. Aisha spoke of her hope to one day publish stories that mattered, stories that reflected real lives. Weeks turned into months, and the company flourished under Adam's leadership. Promotions were earned fairly, voices were heard, and trust slowly replaced fear. Aisha's confidence grew, and so did the quiet bond between her and her boss. Yet both were careful. They understood the boundaries, the risks of misunderstanding, the weight of their positions. What they shared was built on respect first, and something deeper beneath the surface. One evening, after a long day finalizing a major project, the office was nearly empty. The city lights glowed outside the windows, reflecting off the glass like distant stars. Adam approached Aisha's desk. "Would you like to take a walk?" he asked. "Just as colleagues, if you prefer." She considered for a moment, then nodded. They walked through the nearby park, the air cool and calm. A light breeze rustled the leaves, and the world felt slower, kinder. "Do you ever think about how small moments change everything?" Adam asked. "All the time," Aisha replied. "Sometimes without us even realizing it." He stopped walking and turned to her. "That night, you reminded me of who I want to be. Not just someone with authority, but someone worthy of trust." Aisha felt warmth spread through her chest. "And you reminded me," she said, "that people are more than the roles they carry." They stood there, sharing a silence that felt full rather than empty. In the months that followed, their connection grew stronger, carefully, honestly. When they finally chose to take a step beyond friendship, it was with clarity and mutual respect. The office was informed, boundaries were set, and professionalism remained intact. To the outside world, it was a story of a powerful leader and a talented editor. But to them, it was something simpler and far more meaningful. It was the story of a rainy evening, a shared umbrella, and a kindness given without expectation. And in a city that often forgot to slow down, it became a reminder that love sometimes begins not with grand gestures, but with a quiet choice to care.